Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're back from our final break of the night. We appreciate everybody that's listening. We know we got people listening to us from far and wide. We appreciate it. It's because of you that we are the highest rated show on globalscaleradio.net. We appreciate the love that you guys are giving us. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us on our relationship show. It's the summertime. It's ladies month. You know, when we get back towards the end of the summer, when we get back to the football and all of that kind of stuff, you know, the ladies don't feel quite as welcome, but we always love them, and we always will make sure that we get some stuff in specifically designed to get them the love. So without any further ado, we're going to get into our rants. We're going to get into our closings. We're going to start with our special guest, LaTanya. LaTanya, you got some things you want to share with the listeners?
I just wanted to say I was very happy to be here. Didn't quite know what to expect, but this was a lot of fun. And I want to give a shout out to all the people who have helped me with this event on Facebook. Thank you, Anjali, Tammy, Mike, my husband, my daughter, Tiffany, Navon. Husband's name is Eddie. Hi, baby. Tiffany, Navon. Appreciate all of you guys listening along, and thank you so much.
Dating Pool Diva. What you got, sister?
Well, I wanted to, first of all, plug my group, the Dating Pool blog. That's the reason why I'm on here. We talk about relationships every day on the Dating Pool blog on Facebook. And I'm also on YouTube and Twitter under the Dating Pool Diva, so please check me out there. You can also check out my website, Free Spirit Enterprises, co.biz. And, you know, I'm really happy to be here. I appreciate you inviting me, Marcus J., and I hope I can come on again.
Absolutely.
To do this again.
Always welcome. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate the information. We appreciate basically having an opportunity to kind of share the way we did tonight. I think we had a good show, and fellas, we did a good job. Ladies, you guys did a better job. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Every single week, the fellas and I, we go through our rants. We go through our closings. We always start with the man on my left. His segment we like to call The Smash with Big Rube. Big Rube, take it away.
What's going on? It's Big Rube. It's a smash. You know, first of all, I'd like to talk a little bit about something that really happened last week or a week and a half ago. The owner and the president, the CEO of Chick-fil-A, came out and said some very questionable comments. And that's not really what I want to speak on, because, you know, it's his opinion and the belief of what he does. And I get that. And I understand that. And he has a free speech to do that. What I want to talk about is the business sense that that made, because it did make it. And a long time ago when I was in college, I took a PR class. And the woman who taught the class used to be the PR person for Pat Robinson down at the 700 Club. And there were numerous times she would tell us about things that Pat Robinson would do and say, and it would be very simple and be very destructive. She would have to fix that. And basically, that's the same thing that the owner of Chick-fil-A did this week. I understand that you have personal beliefs and things of that such, but it's just like church and state. You don't mix your personal business with your business. And I don't know what Chick-fil-A is going to go up or down or left or right with this, but I just want everybody to know sometimes you need to leave your personal, and your business. And if you are in charge of something, sometimes your personal becomes your business. Sometimes it's not very smart to mix the two, and then other times it is what it is. My opinion, this really wasn't a smart move on his part. I know he probably feels good by saying it and getting it all out in the open, but he really created a firestorm underneath his business that honestly probably won't devastate his business, but people say bad press is, you know, just as good as good press, and it isn't. So for all y'all people out there who want to create your own business, just make sure, keep your business and your personal. Never mix your personal business like you never mix church and state. It's Big Rube. It's a smash. I'm out.
Big Rube and the smash, and he's out. Carlton Banks is about to step in here and do his segment that we affectionately like to call It's not unusual.
Man, you know what? Today was one of them days that I was like, can I go back to bed? I had a week off from the kid, 5 days off from the wife, got to get up late, ain't had to rush to get out the door. Man, this little boy, I got to commend you, little boy. You got up and did your thing this morning. I ain't had to fuss at you or anything. You went and did what you needed to do. I just want to tell you thank you, all right, little man? I appreciate that, okay? Do what you had to do. We work it out, right? All right. That's my little corner for the day, man. I ain't going to take up all your time.
That's all you got, man.
That's all I got, man.
That's all you got. All right. Well, I want to go ahead and take an opportunity to thank everybody that listened to us tonight. Everybody who had an opportunity to hit us up on the Facebook pages. Everybody who had an opportunity to call us up. Jay Grizzly Green. We had Big Roo. Who else did we have?
Yeah, big old Tony. Thank you, Tony, for giving us a call. And Big Roo. Roo, come on, man. Say something.
What? I mean, what do you want me to say?
Hey, don't worry about it, Roo.
I mean,
Thank you for all the
say my
listeners.
thing.
Hit us up on our Twitter, which is
NOHLFSTEPPIN.
enjoy the fan page. If you got a comment or something, like to discuss something or see as a show topic, leave us a note on the fan page. If you want to do some advertising with us, hit us up. We got advertising rates. We're looking forward to exploring more and more, expanding our nation, expanding our culture. Hit us up. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J.
We appreciate it. Thank you, fellas, for jumping in there. I was trying to make sure that I had everything nice and queued up the way I needed it to be. I want to go ahead and just kind of end the show with my moment by giving my little rant. We all bring a little joy from our childhood into adulthood, and on July 24, 2012, for me and many people, the world just got a little less funny. That was the day, of course, we lost Sherman Helmsley, the man who brought us George Jefferson. I was one of those kids who didn't really watch cartoons. Of course, I watched them, but, it wasn't really my thing. But my favorite person in the world was my Nana, and her favorite show was All in the Family. So the first time anybody saw George Jefferson, he was sitting in front of the home of Archie Bunker, not wanting to go in, not wanting to kick it with this dude. He was like, yo, I'm not talking to him. Most know the story from here and how they spun off the show into the Jeffersons, which would become one of the most beloved shows in history, black or white. But many don't know the backstory. The producer of the show, of course, was impressed with Mr. Helmsley, that he created the role George Jefferson with him in mind. But because he was working on Broadway, he couldn't join the cast when the character was first mentioned, so the producer held on to the role uncast until Mr. Helmsley completed his Broadway duties 2 years later. And at the time, he was in his early 30s and completed a tour in the Air Force, performed odd jobs, but he was certainly ready for the stardom that the Jeffersons would provide. Now, many would point to his short, loud, arrogant, boastful ways, accentuated by his funny walk, as his most endearing trademarks. I choose to focus on the fact that this was a black man who was, quote, born the son of a sharecropper, as he would always say, raised poor, served his country in the Navy, started his own business, and ascended to the upper crest of the middle class with his deluxe apartment in the sky, and never forgot where he came from. Was he a racist? Sure, he said some terrible things, but at the end of the day, he had a good heart, and we all know that. I remember a particularly touching episode where Mr. Jefferson stumbled upon a Ku Klux Klan meeting inside his building, and he saw a guy that was saying some things that he shouldn't have been saying, and George, of course, got into it with him, and they got to arguing. Anyway, this lead Klansman went into a cardiac arrest, and Mr. Jefferson, with no regard to skin color, jumped in and performed CPR on this man, saving his life. The man surely would have let George die if the roles were reversed, but George revived him. On the brink of death, this man told Mr. Jefferson that he would have died. He would have let him die. He should have let him die, I should say. But that was the George Jefferson I knew. That's the man I grew up loving from my earliest memories to the present. Nowadays, I watch the show with Mama J and have great laughs as she walks around with her little George Jefferson walk, emulating it like she, knowing what she doing. And I'm reminded by the fact that in the 70s, when you had cranky junk dealers, a family living in the projects who rarely had good times, you had a successful entrepreneur who loved his family, loved his friends, and was always dressed to impress. He was a fictional character for sure, but I had a connection with him as a child, and I looked up to him and all his fictional character accomplishments. He would go on other shows like Aint as Deacon Fry, Good Behavior as Willie Good, and countless movies, TV guest spots, but to me, he'll always be George Jefferson, who has 7 dry cleaning businesses, 1 near you. Tonight was a first for me. I've never done a rant. It was basically an obituary, but as I stated as a child, Sherman George Jefferson Hemsley was one of my favorite actors, and when he died, to me, the world did just get a little less funny. That's the Murr. Marcus's unrelated rant that ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about here tonight. It's the end of the show. I want to go around the room. I want to thank LaTanya. I want to thank the Dating Pool Diva. I want to thank our callers. I want to thank Tony. I want to thank Jay Grizzy Green. I want to thank Melinda. I want to thank Miss Cynthia for hitting us up on the Facebook page. Everybody that was listening. And, of course, I got to thank my regular crew. I got Lil Banks in the room. I got Big Rube in the room. And, of course, I got Carlton Banks in the room. I want to end the show by saying go out and vote. Go out and register to vote. Remember, they trying to take your vote away from you. They trying to get you to show IDs and all that kind of crazy stuff. Poll taxes and everything. Don't let it fool you. Get your stuff right. Because in November, the world needs a change. A change for the good, a change for the bad. Say the same, whatever it is. You just make sure you get out to vote. In the words of Bob Marley, in the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. I want to say peace to all the stars and the squares. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Be back next week. Peace!